Brad, my question to you is, what is the single most important leadership trait that I need to develop to build a firm that lasts?
To build a firm that lasts, it's not a leadership trait, it's a management skill. Too many coaches, when they employ people, think you should coach them, and you don't coach your staff, you coach your clients. You've got to manage your staff. So they have to follow the management structure, the daily goal setting, the daily activity setting, the weekly meetings, the Monday morning session. And you got to hold them to accountability. One of the hardest parts of being a great boss is they either make it or they don't. A new salesperson, you got 30 days to make a sale. If you don't make a sale in 30 days, we know you're not making a sale. I think every business owner wimps out around holding people to accountability. And the smaller the business, the stronger the accountability needs to be. In a team of 1,000 people, you could have 10, 20 slackers. In a team of 2 people, you can't have a slacker. Everyone has to be at very high performance or the business doesn't work. I think we put too much importance today on leadership and not enough importance on coaching, on management. Management is your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, that building competency and productivity in your people. And as long as we remind ourselves that I've got to build competent, productive people, then we become good managers, sort of thing. The goal of a manager is not to have to do much management. But when you first start with a brand new employee on day one, you got to manage them with micromanagement. Because they don't know what they're doing. It's like raising a kid almost, when you got to tie your kid's shoelace for them. You got to feed them in the beginning, sort of thing. And until you build them, until they're a competent adult and they can go off and live in the wild on their own, sort of thing. And it's the same with your coaching people. And often in business owners that I've coached, I've had to say to them, listen, how many hours a week are you spending managing that person? I said, have you told them that? Hold on, Peter, it's taking me 4 hours a week to manage you. That's too much time. But that's where you have to get over superheroitis, doing it for them type thing. It's where you've got to get over the bottleneck, the need to be needed type thing. And so to run a great firm, you've got to do that. But then you've also got to be very strong on your numbers. You need 1/3 of so 30% has to go to the bottom line. It should always be 30% of the bottom line, no matter what. You need a profit account. If you don't run a profit account, a tax account, if you don't have separate bank accounts for these things, you're not going to run a good business. You just won't. So 1/3 of your customers should be putting their money into the profit account. 1/3 should be going into, and about 10% should be going into the taxation account. So that's sort of your numbers. But if your marketing cost per customer if it's more than $100 to get a lead, then, thank you, Gary. If it's more than $100 to get a lead, then you're spending too much getting a lead. If it's more than $1,000 to get a customer, then you got to look at something going wrong. In the beginning, you will have to spend more to buy your customers because you got to make up in numbers what you lack in skill, what you lack in experience. So that will be the case, but they would be the 2 things I would say very much. The management of your people, be on it. Don't wimp out because they're my only employee, I should treat them nice. Yeah, treating them nice is making sure they have a job in 6 months. So be tough on them so that they succeed. Great question.